things like that for sale at at stores? Do they have specific stores that handle these, or how do you
find them?
There you go.
There you go. That's a great question. Well, we actually have a miniature shop. We're located at the Red Brick Farm, and we're called Chautauqua Miniatures and Dollhouse Gallery. We have dollhouses on display. We have thousands and thousands of miniatures on display in these wonderful antique glass display cases, and it's a real pleasure to come in and look around. We encourage people to just come in and look around, even if you don't collect. It's a lot of fun. There's not many miniature shops in the country. As a matter of fact, the internet and so on has done in a lot of the little stores.
Yes,
it's tough to keep your head above water in this industry, but we have a successful store. We have about 5,000 square feet that we're working with. We just moved into the antique barn
It's a wonderful store, but I didn't realize that you specialized in the miniatures.
Yeah.
Now, some of these look even... Well, of course, they do have the miniature dollhouses.
Right.
But some of
they look real, don't they?
Yes, they do.
They do.
And they're so little, but I wasn't thinking of dollhouses, to tell you the truth, because now my children have dollhouses, their grandchildren rather, dollhouses that are the old size that used to be, only they're bigger now because they look like huge mansions and stuff like that. But they're the same size as the tin dollhouses we used to have as children.
Right.
But they also have these littler ones that you can get now. So I assume some of your miniatures are for the littler ones.
Well, actually, we have all scales. A lot of the playhouses that you're talking about that the kids get now are a half-inch scale.
Mm-hmm.
So, did I bring anything half-inch? I brought quarter and everything else. Well, half-inch would be half of this size, because this is 1-inch scale.
Right.
And I had one of those tin dollhouses, and my daughter, she's 26 now, but she had some of those playhouses. They were half-inch scale. A lot of these appeal to adult collectors, the 1-inch scale. You really are kind of creating your own perfect little world,
Absolutely, and they're my daughter and her children have these, and they've spent hours decorating and getting just
creative.
the perfect little person and so forth.
Right.
I mean, they plus they teach the children quite a bit about. They've done themes for theirs because they have American Girl dolls.
Oh yes.
And so the one has a Tudor type mansion, the other has a old Victorian type one, and so forth. So
I bet they enjoy. The creativity is what we really like to emphasize with kids. I tell people you can come in and get a basic little house, and you can make things out of cardboard boxes. Little matchboxes can be dressers. You don't have to get into this, type of thing until when the kids look at these, I tell them they have to get a job first.
It's almost sometimes it's almost like that.
And once you're an adult, you can kind of do what you want. Maybe you don't buy as many groceries this week, and you go get a new piece for your dollhouse. And I say I have every piece I've ever collected. Never goes bad. Now I say, how much do you spend on a good dinner, and how long does that last? So keep it in perspective. It's a lot of fun, though. It's a good world. When the rest of the world isn't so fun, as you were pointing out, this is a good escape.
Yes, it's a fascinating hobby too. And the nice thing about it is you can have a lot of things because they don't take up that much room.
That's right.
The
until you
dusting
get too
gets
many.
to be something, though.
Yeah.
Okay,
yes.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you for calling.
I'd like to say hello to Mr. and Mrs. B, and have a wonderful day, everyone.
Well, thank you very much. And you send me a stamped envelope, and I'll send you some nice gifts. Well, she's right.
She gets to eat, too, doesn't she? She gets McDonald's or gift certificate?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Good deal.
All
right.
Give her a gift certificate to
Great.
McDonald's. I'm going to give you something, too.
Oh,
Because you showed up, and that's just as good as a call, I'd
It's
say.
as good as anything, sure.
Yeah.
Well, you gave me a coffee mug.
Well, you get more than that. I'm going to give you a Big Mac.
Oh, okay.
And this should take care of everything.
Oh, I think it will.
Lunch.
I could fit my whole thing in
And
there.
I'm going to give you a couple of gift certificates
Oh, well,
to
thank you,
that
Reed.
lovely little place at the foot of the hill, Mayville, the Lakeview.
The Lakeview. We love
Those are
the
$5.
Lakeview.
They're small, but they're $5
Oh, those
bills.
are wonderful. We
don't
love
lose
the
them.
Lakeview's a great place. Yes.
Yeah. Well,
Lakeview's nice. And the docks there.
The docks, they have all the crab you can eat at the docks.
Did you go try it?
I haven't dared
I wonder what.
because I think I'd get sick. They.
Just because they say you can eat all you want doesn't mean you have to.
Well, I see these giant dishes of them.
Yeah, a
And
big
then I
lettuce.
see people snap through them, and then they give them another giant dish.
Oh, yeah.
And I talked to
You're making me
Sandy, who
hungry.
kind of helps out over there. She's the co-owner. And she tells me, well, actually, we only give them 2 more servings.
All right. And then they shut them off.
But I said, well, you know, they could have their girlfriend or wife or whoever's on, or order another couple. And
I'll
eat those,
order
you
the
know?
other one. My
And
husband
she
can
said,
eat it. Yeah.
Right, and she said, well, no, we don't allow sharing. I said, but do you have sharing police here?
She said, yeah, they're hiding in the kitchen. It's the wait staff, right?
Nobody watches.
Hey, tell them what this is.
Okay, right here, we have the IRS income tax form. And there is a broken pencil in
Yeah,
here
because they had such a hard time doing their little taxes.
because they snapped the pencil right in half. They couldn't handle it. And I have a CPA do mine now
Do you? And then you pay them with.
with these tiny, you guys can't see this. I don't think you can even get the camera up that
Yeah,
close.
it's not bad.
These are wads of $100 bills and
And 20s.
$20 bills.
I picked up the big ones.
These
we,
are kind of miniatures.
we have 5s and 10s too, but I thought this was more fun.
Well, you know, this is just the size of the dollar in comparison to the full size that it used to be about 15, 20 years ago, you know?
What it was worth,
It
right?
shrinks, you
Oh,
know?
boy, you are so right. Oh, gosh. Well, you know, I still want to go back and tell you about these wonderful people we have local. We started with Judy Travis, who's
Judy
in Portland.
Travis is in
Judy
Portland.
Travis in Portland. Now, this I was holding up a minute ago, if they can focus in on that. Talented lady named Rita Auerbach.
And what's she
And you
do?
probably recognize that. What is that?
I can't tell.
That's
in
the bell
picture.
tower.
Oh,
That's
it's
the Chautauqua Bell Tower. That's an
Yeah, we
original
ring that when our program-
watercolor.
when our program comes
When
on.
it
Did you
starts, all
notice
right. Well,
that?
that's an original watercolor by Rita,
see.
signed. It's the only way you can afford one of her paintings because they're big ones. They're very expensive.
I bet the
Then-
little ones cost as much.
No, they're not too bad.
No, they're not
about
bad.
$40 or something. This is a gal from Buffalo,
What's her
and
name?
her name is Nicole. And forgive me, Nicole, I've forgotten your last name, but Niglo is the name of her company. She does all of her own casting and paints all of her own porcelain shades. And this lights up. This
Does
is
it
a
really?
very beautiful piece.
How does it light up?
Well, see these little wires,
Oh,
and then you see I've got lights in some of my little displays here.
Yeah, that's a
Can we see
beautiful
that?
display. What do you call it again?
This, we call this a little vignette, and
A
this is an
vignette.
old sewing machine drawer, which if you can get a close-up of that, see the top
yeah.
where the handle
See,
is?
it's kind of like a
Like the treadle sewing machines used to have the drawers.
oh yeah.
And then I turned it on end, I made it into a library. And I've got a beautiful chandelier here that lights up, and then down below there's a lamp in the corner somewhere. Yep. All the books. Now, when you take a piece like this, you can now use your scanners at home. Scan family photographs, favorite books, take them over to Word, reduce them, and then you put them on the bookshelf. So you can really key it right to someone's complete interest. And then we were looking at this one over here, which started out my, this was a retirement box. This is a really fun one. I hope you can get a close-up of it. And my mom used to be a reporter for the Buffalo News. When she retired, I was trying to think of something really original to do for her for a gift. So this is a photo of her desk in the editorial room that's in the background. You can see a chair that's facing you. And then I pulled it out and did it all in 3D. So it makes a really nice
And it's
keepsake.
just a duplicate of her
Duplicate
office.
of her office. There's her computer with the, she did a lot of the Indian stories, family photograph on the desk.
It looks so real, too.
Isn't that something? And then I cut, yep, there's the family. Kids are all grown up now. That was a long time ago. There's her file drawers. I actually wrote some of the names of
And
stories
those
she
are
was
all
working
about
on.
an inch, 2 inches high.
Inch to the
They're
foot,
little
yeah,
dinky
yeah.
things.
And then the outside of the box has her page 1 stories that I had saved over the years, so I covered the outside of the box with that. So you can
Mm-hmm.
really make a personal gift for someone.
And it's so simple, really. It just
Yes.
takes a lot of time.
Yeah, and that's the fun of it. You think
And
about,
genius. I mean, you've got to have
you
a
get
certain
crafty.
amount of...
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to have a certain amount of
Yeah.
art in you.
Maybe. But you know, that's why the shop is good. We help people. Like they come in and say, we had one, a mother and a daughter, and the other daughter had caught her dining room table on fire. So for Christmas, they were giving her a new table. So they recreated the burning table in miniature. They burned a little carpet that they had thrown over this table, and they burned the table. They had spilled little bottles of wine, and then they had a card attached to it. Said, you know, Merry Christmas, ha-ha. You now get another table.
Well, now
And
tell me, how do you burn a dining room table?
she had a chafing dish on there, and evidently the thing tipped when they didn't realize it, and it caught the tablecloth on fire. And then her husband ran into the hallway and grabbed the Oriental rug and threw it over the top of the table
I
to put
hope
the
it wasn't
fire
a
on.
very
It
expensive
was a
one.
nice Oriental rug, yes it was. They did the whole scene in miniature, so yeah.
Well, I hope next time he throws an old bathtub or bathrobe on it or something. You know,
The husband's wife's going, grab the old bath towel.
right.
Yeah, yeah. But it's fun.
Okay, let's take another phone call. We got a couple. Good morning, caller. Thank you for